Imagine having to compete with AI to buy a house or to even rent an apartment. Well, chances are you're already going head to head with artificial intelligence and you don't even know it. We're going to talk about what some owners, developers, and property managers are doing to not only get a leg up on the competition, but to also get the advantage against you, the person who'll be renting the apartment from them. Is it even legal, and is there anything you can do about it? Let's get into it. Usually, real estate isn't the first thing that comes to mind when you think of AI or advancements in tech. Maybe you think about the kiosk that you order from when you get your fast food, or the robot bartender that you tell all your relationship problems to, or maybe you think of self-driving cars, which isn't going too well right now. Either way, whether it's AI doing your nails and lashes, or it's ChatGPT doing your homework, real estate just wasn't on top of the list. Until now. Some of you may be thinking, how can AI possibly affect real estate? Are we gonna have robots acting as real estate agents? No, not yet at least. But things will change. And how exactly will AI affect real estate? But more importantly, why is it happening? One way that AI has been introduced to real estate is with housing affordability. AI can now cause you to spend more money on an apartment. RealPage, a company based out in Texas, has developed software that helps landlords set their prices for their apartments. The software known as EOS R has an intelligent algorithm that helps owners get their bottom line metrics such as rental revenue, rental growth, and rental change. Now, all of that sounds fine, but it's what's under the hood of the algorithm that has people really upset. It's been reported that not only does the algorithm provide amazing data, but it also provides suggestions on how owners can get the highest possible rent from their tenants. Some users have even said that the beauty of EOS R is that EOS R pushes you to go places that you wouldn't have gone if you weren't using it. Or very few of us will be actually willing to raise rents double digits within a single month. But hold on, because we're not done yet. Did I mention that the algorithm could provide suggestions? Suggestions such as accepting a lower occupancy rate, that way you could raise rents. Essentially telling you to leave some apartments vacant to minimize supply and then raise rents on the other apartments. Then when you go to bring back these vacant apartments back to the market, the new price can now match the new higher rent that you're charging on the other apartments. The algorithm is able to do this using public and private data from competitors. And if you're wondering where's the compassion and the empathy, remember, it's AI. There isn't any. In fact, some of the developers have even said that leasing agents had too much empathy compared to computer pricing software. All of these things brings us to the question that I asked earlier. Is it legal? Well, it's complicated because on one hand, people are saying that this is price fixing, collusion, and manipulation. While on the other hand, RealPage says that they minimize collusion since it's not technically manual pricing and they use internal data over external factors. Meaning that they're not actually getting on the phone and putting two owners on the phone and saying, hey, Bob, what are you charging for your apartments, John? And John is saying, hey, I'm charging this amount, we should match the pricing. They're saying they're using internal data to set the prices. It's also a bit difficult to see how much of an effect the software really has on the market since, let's be honest, we have a supply issue and supply issues causes prices to go up anyway. Currently, there's an antitrust lawsuit happening to determine whether or not this is legal. The burden will really be on the prosecutors to prove that owners got together and colluded in price fixing. Or did they simply just agree to share information and not agree to manipulate the price, because then that becomes a gray area. The next question you're probably asking yourself is, well, what can I do about it, if anything at all? In my opinion, although this lawsuit will set precedent if found guilty of antitrust laws, it does not stop technology. There will be other softwares and initiatives that owners will take advantage of to get the highest possible rent from their renters. The key is for renters to become educated on how to get the best price. The easiest way to do this will be to deal with mom and pop landlords, because as much as they love revenue, they tend to value stability a lot more. And they also usually don't have the resources to leave apartments vacant in exchange for getting higher rents. However, if you are someone that prefers the high-rise apartments and the larger buildings, then there are a few things that you can do to put yourself in a better position. When moving into a new building, try to figure out how many units are in that building. This is usually public information and something that the management team would gladly share to you. Let's say you're in a one-bedroom apartment and you know that in your building there are 9 other one-bedroom apartments available. This gives you a bit of leverage when it comes to renegotiating your lease if you know how much of those other one-bedroom apartments are vacant. Another thing you can do is see if you can offer to pay a larger amount up front in exchange for a longer lease term. This allows you to not have to deal with a price hike each and every single year. Either way, this is pretty much a game of chicken to see who blinks first. Regardless of what the software says or suggests, a vacancy is still a vacancy and can get really expensive when you have recurring expenses happening. On the other hand, tenants need somewhere to live and sometimes don't have the luxury, the resources, or even the time to hold out for a fair or cheaper rent. At the end of the day, we need more housing. But that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next video.